Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make are ultimate brownies. Now this particular brownie recipe will make a very fudgy type brownie. If you're looking for more of a cake type brownie, I have many of them on my channel, so please check out my other videos. But this ultimate brownie, what I like about it, it's moist, it's still light, but it's very fudgy, and they are really, I think it's a good name, ultimate, because they are really ultimate good brownies. So let's get started. Now, I no longer put the recipe below the video, so hopefully I'm going to go through slowly enough and clearly enough that if you want to jot down the recipe as I'm going through this video, you're going to be able to do so. Okay? So the first thing that you're going to need is actually 5 squares, or they usually are 1 ounce apiece, of your unsweetened chocolate. And if you're buying it in a bar, you're going to need to melt it, and it's easy to melt it in the microwave, in a microwave safe bowl, and melt them that way. Okay. What I like to do is, because I think it's actually cheaper to do it this way, you can just buy some unsweetened chocolate, whatever brand that you prefer, and you would need 15 tablespoons of the unsweetened cocoa, and 3 tablespoons of any type of oil that you want to use. And you can make that exactly the same instead of buying the bar chocolate, which is a little bit more expensive, the unsweetened. But either way, again, if you're going to use the bar that you need to melt ahead of time and let it cool, you need 5 squares. So in other words, you need 5 ounces. Unless you do it the way I am with the unsweetened, you need 15 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa to 3 tablespoons of your choice of oil. Okay, so what I have already is 15 teaspoons of the unsweetened cocoa in there. And I'm going to add those 3 tablespoons of oil. Again, I hope I'm not making that too confusing. I'm just giving you an idea that you can, you know, use your unsweetened cocoa and save some money. You know, because baking, you know, has become so expensive these days. So that's why I thought I would do it this way, to give you a couple ways of doing it. And I'm just going to turn my mixer on just to combine it till it becomes a paste, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. It will come out just to look like this, okay? And I really, you know, didn't mix it quite as long as I should. Now, I also want to warn you about the sound of the mixer, okay? So I'll give you a heads up on that. All right, the next thing that you're going to need to put in is melted butter. And now, if you don't have butter, you don't like butter, whatever, use 2/3 of a cup of either your favorite butter brand or margarine brand, and cool it, 2/3 of a cup. And I'm just putting that in that oil and cocoa mixture. And I just want to make sure to scrape the sides of my mixing bowl and get to the bottom a little bit with my spatula where it tends to stick. And I'm going to turn it on for just another couple seconds here. Okay, and let me show you what we got so far. you've got this nice, shiny, glossy chocolate, okay? All right, so let me put that back in there. Okay, alrighty. Now, the next thing that we're going to be putting in is granulated sugar. So you need 1 3/4 cups of granulated sugar. I'm going to put a little at a time and beat it in. Warn you about the sound of the mixer. Now, spend, you know, a couple minutes, 2 or 3 minutes to really beat that in. I'm just moving it along due to the video, okay? So to show you what that looks like so far. Okay, all right. The next thing that we're going to be putting in that's been at room temperature are 3 eggs. And I'm going to put 1 in at a time. Beat them in 1 at a time. That's the first, the second, and now the third. Okay, now I definitely turned my speed up on high to move it along for the video, but again, spend 2 or 3 minutes on really blending that, beating it together till it's nice and smooth and glossy. I'm going to turn my mixer on just for a few more seconds to mix that a little better. What I'm also going to put in is 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 2 teaspoons. And beat that in. Now, once that's smooth, and it shouldn't take you probably, 30 seconds or so to mix that vanilla in, you're going to work on your dry ingredients, and you're going to be putting in 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Now, I'm going to repeat this a couple times, not to bore you, but there is no baking powder or baking soda in this recipe, okay? So I know some people will write and say, well, how come? You must have forgot. No, I really didn't. It doesn't require, all it requires is 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and I'll put a little in and get that mixed in. And then I'm going to turn my speed up a little. Again, spend that minute or 2 or even 3 minutes. Now you might be using a hand mixer for this, so it might take you, just a little bit longer because different speeds on your stand-ups to your hand mixer. And the next thing you're going to put in is 1 cup of your semi-sweet chocolate chips or whatever type of flavor that you prefer, okay? That's 1 cup. Now you can fold those in with a spatula if you're worried about breaking them up and them losing their integrity, but I like to use my paddle to mix them because I think it evenly distributes them better, and they really don't break up that much if you just do it very quickly. Okay, now we'll just pull this paddle out. I'll take my excess off as best as I can here. You really hate to waste the product because, again, prices have went up. But even before they went up, baking is expensive. It's, I think, so much better than bought. And you know the ingredients that you put in for your family or friends or whoever you're making them, or for yourself. And now I'm just going to make sure that everything's combined, and It was mixed on the bottom where it tends to stick a little bit on these mixing bowls. Now, if you like nuts, go ahead and you can put actually a cup of chopped nuts, whatever you prefer. Walnuts, pecans, macadamia, you know, whatever, peanuts, whatever you want. But 1 cup, this recipe is very generous, as you see. It's generous with nuts. It's also generous with the chocolate chips or the morsels. I'm going to be baking them in a 9 by 9 by 2. Heavily greased it, however you want to, you know, oil or grease your pan. You can see this beautiful batter that's coming out, this brownie batter. Oh, it smells so good. It really does. And just put that in your pan and then just level it off as best as you can. Get to those corners of that greased pan. Okay. And again, I want to get that all out of there. I'm going to grab just a little butter knife here to get the excess off my spatula, and just go in and get out the rest. Okay? When you bake these, your whole kitchen will smell, oh, the aroma of chocolate. Oh, these brownies, you know, they freeze beautiful, by the way, if you don't eat them all right away. Yet that's usually not the case. You know, when something looks as good, smells as good, and tastes as good, they're eaten right away. But you can freeze them. They freeze really well. I freeze up mine after they're baked and keep them in the freezer usually within a month or 2. And then I can pull them out if I need them or how many I want and that type of thing. So they do freeze well, okay? Now you're going to bake these at 350 degrees, and they are going to take a little bit longer to bake than your traditional brownies. They can take you anywhere from 40 to 45 minutes. So you want to be kind of patient with them. But they really do come up beautiful. And then when you're checking the brownies, I like to start checking mine after about 38 minutes or so. Start looking at them. Use your cake tester or a toothpick or something to see that when you pull it out, it's you know, relatively dry. You'll see that when you bake them, they pull away from the sides. You don't want to over bake and dry them out either, but you do want them, you know, cooked. You want them baked well. Now I'm going to rinse my hands quickly because I was working with raw eggs, because I'd like to show you what they look like once they're baked up. And I have some cut up to show you. And they will come out looking like this. They will have this extremely high gloss colored chocolate on the top. Oh, really nice looking brownies. You can cut them in whatever sizes that you want, how big or small. And then I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but you can just, it looks like a bar of fudge. It is. It really, they are so fudgy and so delicious. And here, I'm going to just break open into one. And then again, I don't know if you can see, but how moist they are as I'm pushing down on the brownie. So they're very moist as they pull away. They're chewy, they're moist. You can see all those beautiful chocolate chips inside of them. And then if you put your nuts in there, you'll see a nice blend of whatever chopped nuts that you put in. These brownies are excellent. They really, well, they really earn the name Ultimate because they are so good. I really think some people will think, oh, you didn't bake these. You would have had to buy them, you know, from a professional bakery. And they just are so good. They're easy to make. And if any of you have seen it, some of my videos, I always say I like easy, quick recipes, but I like them to be good. And this is one of them that I think if you try this, I think you're really going to like it. Now, if you do, you know, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave me a comment. If you have a question or a comment, I'll do my best to answer in a very timely fashion. And I'm sorry that I don't put the recipes below the videos anymore, because it's become not worth it anymore. And I'm certainly not alone on this. I just got tired of seeing my work pinned and posted and people taking my work to other sites. And when I see you write me a question and I can't answer you, I am so frustrated. So it just became that I thought, nope, I'm no longer going to put the recipe below. But hopefully I went through thoroughly enough and detailed enough that you got the recipe if you're going to give these ultimate brownies a try. So I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And by the way, that's the only place where I put my videos. So if you're watching me somewhere else, that is not my work. Somebody's taken it. So please watch me solely on YouTube. And if you're so inclined and you'd like to subscribe to the channel, well, I can't thank you enough. And I want to thank all my 21,000 subscribers that have subscribed, or all the folks that have taken the time to just watch my videos or take a peek at them. Again, thank you so much. So once again, thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. Be safe, be well, and I'll see you soon.